HIV and AIDS discrimination and stigma. In 1998, the Associated Press published an article of HIV-positive South African women killed and murdered by their neighbors. Gugu Dlamini was stoned and beaten to death by their neighbors in her township Duban in South Africa, after speaking of her HIV status in the World's AIDS Celebration Day. It is therefore not surprising that 79% of people who carry HIV are not willing to reveal their HIV status. AIDS stigma is present across countries, gender, sexual orientation, and religious views. Fear of discrimination often prevents people from seeking medical treatment and even taking the test. The idea of unveiling the disease to families, friends, and co-workers is devastating and really scary for people who have acquired HIV virus. AIDS has a heavy moral tag in society, more than any other disease known by humans. AIDS-related stigma and discrimination is challenging as the scientific researchers cure. First, I will start to talk about a little bit of what is HIV and how you can acquire it, and other myths that people think they can acquire HIV. Okay. HIV infection is a condition produced by the human immunodeficiency virus. The condition slowly destroys your immune system, and therefore your body is not able to battle against other pathogens. There are several ways people can acquire HIV. First is by sexual contact, either by having oral sex, vaginal or anal sex. Also through blood transmission by sharing needles or needle sticks. Another way to acquire HIV is by when women are having babies, by childbirth and also by breastfeeding the babies. The babies can acquire HIVs transmitted by their mothers. UNICEF statistics show that there are approximately 2.1 million kids infected with HIV virus, and there are 370,000 more acquiring HIV each year. Other body fluids such as saliva and sweat also contain HIV, but the quantity that this and body fluids contain is not enough to transmit the infection. A difference between HIV and AIDS is that HIV is the virus. A person can have HIVs but not show the symptoms. When the symptoms are shown, then it's called AIDS, which is the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. HIV is an AIDS disease, and it was discovered in 1981. It's still an unknown disease now. There are still many unknown things about this disease, and ignorance in this subject and many myths have raised because of this. That contributes a high level, and this contributes a high level of the stigma in our society. HIV stigmas are really related to behavioral patterns such as homosexual tendencies, and drug addiction, prostitution, and promiscuity. For many years, it was believed that HIV was only present in gay community, which is not true. Even when HIV was discovered, they tried to name the GRID, which means gay-related immunodeficiency disease. But luckily, this was changed to a more neutral name, AIDS or HIV. Other HIV, when you can acquire HIV doesn't discriminate. Many famous singers, actors have acquired HIV, and because of this they had to quit their jobs. An example of this was Freddie Mercury. Once he acquired HIV, his manager tried to do everything to cover his homosexuality. HIV discrimination is present in family, community, and even nations. Discrimination based on fear and unknown affects not only HIV patients, but have a direct impact in family. There was a specific case that happened in India, where a mother acquired HIV by going to this clinic while having a blood transfusion. After this, all of her kids were HIV positive. When their mother passed away, the three sisters decided that it was better to commit suicide than living in a place where they had to move from town to town and always being discriminated. This report was transmitted by NDTV of India. Jobs also have been denied to those who are HIV positive. So this was the case of Wu, a Chinese student who wanted to be a professor and carry on his studies in a university. He was denied of teaching and even studying in the university just because he was HIV positive. Now I'm going to show you a video of a guy who was denied a job in Cirque du Soleil just because he was HIV positive.
Employment discrimination is a huge problem facing people with HIV.
I did have a dream job, and that was with Cirque du Soleil.
He wanted to perform, and so he dropped it all and joined the circus.
They told me that because of my HIV status, that they were terminating my employment.
You know, you can have people who have the best of intentions, but simply because they don't know enough about HIV and the way that HIV is spread, they make a decision that has no bearing in reality.
I didn't want anyone else to go through what I had been put through.
There is no reason to discriminate against an athlete with HIV. And in fact, up to this date, there has been no documented case of transmission of HIV in 20 some odd years of knowing this disease on an athletic field.
The message that we are sending to all those employers is there is a high penalty to pay for discrimination based on fear.
The fact that people know that that battle was won is a major positive issue.
This made me understand that even one person can make a huge difference.
Okay, HIV has caused fear among society, but mostly is due to the ignorance of people's knowledge in HIV. Even nations have caused specific rules to avoid receiving HIV persons into their country. It was not until 2010 that United States permitted the entrance of HIV positive people into the country, and also many other countries avoid having HIV positive students studying at public places, institutions. To wrap everything up, HIV can be improved. HIV's discrimination and stigma can be improved by education and nothing else. Making society know the truth about HIVs and not believe in the myths and stigma that has been going around for the past 30 years.